Hey folks, a quick video from Daddy Rabbit. Sorry about all the moving around. I'm in town. I'm not in the place that I usually am when I shoot my videos. But I've got a friend that works at one of the hospitals in another county over from me. And it's just about as small of a town as I'm in. And I can't say what he does at the hospital and all that, because I ain't trying to get nobody jammed up, because in a small town, everybody knows everybody, except me. I don't know who's related to who. I don't know who works where. I'm not from here. So I try to limit what I say about people because of not knowing the family lineage. In these little towns, everybody's related. That goes to reason. If you live somewhere where there's 50 or 60,000 people, then, after a while, everybody is related. Some way, they're cousins. They're all cousins, kissing cousins, but, they're all related to one another somehow. But, I'm sorry about it being dark. I was trying to get this done before the sun went down, but that's just the way life is. I've been real sick lately, so thought about shooting this video at home, but that means I'd have to clean home, and I didn't feel like cleaning up to shoot a video. So I had to come into town and get some medicine, and I thought, well, I'd go ahead and shoot this video. But now that I got all that out of the way, the reason for the video is, if you live in a small town, and if you've got a hospital in a small town, and this is going to sound horrible, but this is true. If you're worth your salt, if you're a doctor, if you're a nurse practitioner, if you're good in your field, then you're in the big city practicing. Since I live in Tennessee, the four biggest cities is Chattanooga, Knoxville, Nashville, Memphis. Those are the four biggest cities in the state. And if you're worth your salt, you're in one of them four cities. Now, I guess there can be the exception to the rule, but most people that go to medical school, they got bills to pay. They got schooling to pay back, so they're going to go where they can make the most money. And not everybody gets to go to the big city and work because your grades weren't good enough. Out of 158 students in your class, you were number 153, then you kind of go where you can go. So being in these small towns, these hospitals don't have good reputations when it comes to saving people. So, if you're sick, you got something life-threatening, you go to a bigger city to get better medical care. And that's just the way it is. And if you don't, I don't know the averages, but I'd say it's slim that you're going to make it if you go to one of these small hospitals. Like the county I'm in, everybody told me from the time I moved up here, hey, if something happens to you and it's serious, you go to Nashville, Cookeville, or Knoxville. And I don't think Cookeville's much bigger than where I am, but they got a better facility. And if I had something life-threatening, I'm going to Knoxville, because Knoxville's got the best physicians. And if there's something trauma-related, you go to the University of Tennessee hospital, because they are a trauma hospital. And but these smaller places, medical care sucks. I mean, I guess, if you break your pinky toe or something like that, then you might want to go there. But anything serious on any level, you go to a big hospital. So the reason I'm doing this video, if you're a prepper, and everybody knows I'm a prepper, if there's something wrong, then you want to go to that squeaked. Then you want to go to a town that's got a bigger hospital, got better doctors, got better equipment. And something else I want to tell you all. If you live in a small town, okay, and I live, I think the whole county where I live, there's 53,000 people. That ain't no, in the grand scheme of things, that ain't a lot of people. That's not even a little bit. But let's say you have a heart attack or a stroke, or you fall and break your back or your hip, and you need to go to a real hospital, you got to think about how much is that going to cost you to ride in an ambulance. Wow, you could probably buy a house for what that cost you. Or if you're way out in the country, they're going to put you on a helo. Oh my Lord. Now they'll fly out there for nothing, but as soon as they put your butt in that helo, it's going to cost thousands and thousands of dollars. And there's helo insurance, there is, and it's not a whole lot. It's like $12 or $13, $14 a month. Because they know the average, the chance of you getting put on a helo is about zero. You could probably win the lottery before that would happen, okay? But that being said, it's worth the 14 or 15 whatever dollars it is a month for helo insurance. Because if you got to get airlifted to somewhere, man, you're talking about bank, big money. And then, I got insurance. You ain't got that kind of insurance. You're talking $30, $40, $50,000 for a 12-minute ride that you don't even get to look out the window. So, I love living in the country. I do. I live, 100 miles from Knoxville. But if they put me on a bird, oh my Lord. And I got a cousin that works for the Lifestar or whatever it's called. And, it's kind of like having handgun insurance. The chances you needing it is about zero until you shoot somebody. And then, by God, you wish to God you had it. So from a prepper standpoint, or from anybody's standpoint, I'd get the helo insurance if you live somewhere small, especially if you like to go out camping and whatever. A lot of times they can't get an ambulance to you if you're on a hike or whatever. When they call in a bird, you owe it as soon as they load you on that bird. And most of the time, they're going to put you on an ambulance and take you somewhere and then load you on that bird. So now you got an ambulance bill and a helo bill. And I just got to thinking how important this is for everybody that thinks, well, I'm going to move the country and I'm going to do this. And that's great. Move to the country. But have the right kind of insurance, It's kind of like having tsunami insurance and living in Upper Alabama. You don't need it, So be smart, Better to spend that $12 a month that you're never going to need than gambling if you live somewhere way out. Because when that bird comes, and like I said, they'll fly that bird as far as they need to. But as soon as they put your butt on it, it's going to cost money. Money that 99.9% of us can't pay. I mean, if you're a multi-millionaire, then I wouldn't sweat it. But if you're the average person, yeah, I'd have it. Because these smaller hospitals, like I say, uh, they're pretty shitty. If if I really need to go to the hospital, I drive to Knoxville. I do, and so does everybody else up here. Or they go to Nashville, or Tullahoma's got a real good hospital, but hell, that's a 2-hour drive. But you know, everybody I know still lives in Knoxville says, well, you have to come down here to do this. You're right, I do. I want to see a good doctor. If I want good medical care, I go to Knoxville. And that, it sucks. But, like I say, everybody in this county's told me, hey, look, if you got to go to the hospital, don't go to the hospital here because they got a reputation of killing people because the level of care. That doesn't mean that the people there don't care. They can care all they want. But if you're not at the level, it's like football. You got an A team and a B team and junior varsity, and and if you're getting the 4th or 5th string medical care, then that's all you're getting. And they can care all they want, but you're still going to die. So if you're going to live out in the country, get the appropriate insurance. And like I say, if something bad happens, they'll fly a bird in, they'll pick you up, and in 10 or 12 minutes, you'll be at the hospital getting A+ care. Now, that's just the way it is. And I don't think a lot of people realize that. It's something you don't really think about. As a prepper, and I've been up here almost 7 years. I know for a fact, if I'm sick and I need to go to the hospital, I'm not going to the hospital here. I've had many people tell me I'd be better off going to see a veterinarian. And I believe it, I've known enough people now. Living in a small town, I know not to go to the hospital. Not in the county I live in. I have any issues at all, I go to Knoxville. And that's just the way it is. Small town politics, small towns, as long as you're healthy and you got a pocket full of money and you don't really need anybody, you're in good shape. But once you get off into needing work done, needing things done, if you're not from that town, there's 2 prices. And when the people that live here tell you, hey, don't go, we got a hospital, but don't use it. If you need a couple of stitches, or you broke your pinky toe, or so, then you can go there. Anything above that, go somewhere else. And so I'm telling you, like where I live, I've seen Lifestar come in a bunch. I think last year, maybe a dozen times, I've seen the helicopter come and get somebody and take them. And I think, man, I hope they got that Helo insurance, because if you don't, wow. But I mean, I guess it beats dying, but yeah, it can be, just the flight alone will break you. Not even the medical care that you're going to get while you're on that bird, but yeah, just the fuel and the pilots and the helicopter is mega money. But, people talk about riding in an ambulance. I lived in Knoxville, and I had a car wreck, and they put me on the backboard and all that, and I think rode me about a mile, and it was $800 for a mile. I said, hell, I'd have crawled up here before I'd have paid that. But you just think about it. It doesn't matter where you are. When the ambulance gets there, you can hand them that card, and they know right then. They'll call for, if you're out in the sticks, they'll call for a bird, and They'll go meet them out in the cow pasture somewhere, and they'll fly that thing in and pick you up. You know, and so uh, just thought I'd pass that along to y'all because I don't hear anybody talking about this. And you know, one big trip like that could bankrupt somebody. Now I know there's people that says, you know, well, I wouldn't pay it, and they can't take my house, but they'll destroy your credit. You know, and I don't know, but I don't personally know anybody that would run up a bill like that knowing and not pay it. You know, they try to pay it. But anyway, just from being an adult and trying to pass on information, look into Hilo Insurance. If anybody wants to know about LifeStar or LifeFlight or whatever, the guy that I know that owns the shooting range up here at Marksman, I've met the guy that the local insurance person that comes in and sells that. I'll be glad to get you the information, but it's not a lot of money. It's not, and I just thought, you know, that's some information that I should pass along to folks because that's important. You know, I think a lot of people, if you're anything like me, everybody's always said, well, just go to the hospital, just go to the emergency room. And I'm like, well, that costs money. Well, you know, don't pay them. Well, problem is, if you don't pay, then you end up with shitty people that work there because they can't afford to pay good doctors. So, you know, they'll get the guy on the bottom of the rung, and I don't want that kind of care. I don't. You know, I want somebody that's competent. If you're going to be picking around in my guts, I want you to know what you're doing. But I digress. But I just want to get on here and share with y'all. And I'm sorry I didn't wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving yesterday. I usually do a video on the holidays, but I'll be honest, I didn't know it was Thanksgiving until about, I don't know, 2 o'clock yesterday. I've been sick the last few days. I got something wrong with my guts. And literally, as soon as I turn this off, I'm going home and going right to bed. I've got some kind of blockage and or a hernia as well. And I'll just tell you, it's whooping my butt. It is whooping me. I'm thinking my doctor, he seems to think it's a hernia. I did a phone consultation with him. He's retired. And I think it's a hernia because as long as I'm not eating, I'm not hurting. And as soon as I eat, about 10 or 15 minutes after I eat, it lays me down. But I got to get that looked at, and then I got to get my oil changed at some point. You know, I just don't run to the hospital. I don't. I know a lot of people that do, and that's just, I wasn't raised that way. You know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But it's broke now, so I got to do something. But anyway, that's all I really got. But I just want to talk to you about being practical. And if you're going to live out in the country, understand, hey, there's a lot of these little counties around here, they don't have hospitals. You get called, and they'll put you in an ambulance, and they'll drive before they even come to a hospital. That all they're going to do is try to get you stable and transfer you to a real hospital. See? So you folks need to think about stuff like that before you move out to the country, especially if you got some age on you or got a medical issue. I just wanted to share. Anyway, folks, more videos coming soon. God willing, and the creek don't rise. That is my 2 cents. Please remember, your glass is always half full and never half empty. And you keep praying for me, and I'll keep praying for you. Let's all pray that Mr. Trump can get everything turned around for us. Anyway, folks, I love you. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.